Well, would you look at that? Your boy was right. They did bring in the Story Clear campaign, the part 4 version of that. And that is a long thing to call this campaign. Let's shorten that down, Lisangle. But yeah, I was telling people that they were going to release this in the next couple of days. I was like, at the latest, maybe it's Mondays when it's going to drop. But the reason I didn't think that they would, avoid putting this out or skip it entirely is, one, Melusine is a very popular servant. They're not just going to not drop that banner. That's ridiculous. There's no way they wouldn't do something along those lines. But it's also what introduces the bond pots into the game. The things that, you kind of select them and you get the extra bond bonus whenever you clear a mission. So bond farming is going to be a lot nicer. My Morgan might actually get an extra level. I don't think a level or 2 would be a little bit of a stretch, but maybe an extra level out of this event if I can kind of get some of those pots in here. And I don't think they're going to skip over a campaign that, one, they really don't have to skip over. There's no need to repackage this because it's just a support, campaign. Like, it just gives you some missions. It gives you, a couple extra banners, and then, we have the pots coming in there. But yeah, that's two. The other thing, it's bringing in like a new, technically quality of life item. I don't know if I would go that far and say it's quality of life, but it is beneficial. Like, it is something good to have in the game. So I don't think they're going to skip that, right? It's the same thing with, like, say, the lanterns over here. These are also a really good example. I don't think they're ever going to skip out on campaigns that bring stuff like that into the game. They're not going to skip mighty chains or anything. We might not get them early because, some of those things they like to tie to anniversaries or to New Year's and stuff along those lines. So sometimes we don't get those as early, but this is something that I saw no reason for them to go ahead and get rid of. But yeah, there's not a whole lot in here, or I guess they're teapots, they're not just pots, but I think calling them pots is way funnier. But yeah, as you can see, doubles the amount of bond points you're getting whenever you're clearing a quest. So, pull out your spreadsheets, look for the best bond farming, locations to use these on if you really want to sweat super hard on getting the bond farming. Don't ask me, because I don't bond farm. I am not that much of a crazy person, right? I'm not out here bond tending my servants the second they come out. I know there are some people that do that. I especially remember, like, year 1, year 2, there would be a lot of people. They'd be like, I pulled Lancer Artoria, I bond tender in like an hour. And I'm like, dude, let's enjoy the game, man. Like, it's not that serious. You don't have to use Saint Quartz to bond farm. But if you like bond farming, then go for it. But if you're a normal person, just kind of find an event that you want to go farm. If you're going to farm lotto or raids and be like, okay, I'm going to farm this a lot with a servant I like, whip this out and it'll be very nice for that. It'll be especially really nice when we get the update that we just got on JP that has the first, 3 servants in your party get 5% extra bond, I believe. And if you have a friend in the front line, I think you get an additional 2.5. So it's like 12.5% with the friend in the front line, which obviously, you're probably going to have a friend right there for the support or whatever. So it'll be even nicer for that. It'll be very nice when Ordeal Call hits, because Ordeal Call does give a pretty good amount of bond. The only other thing that came out recently that I remember that was kind of good is I think it was the Tower event. Was it the Medusa one? I think it was that stage that you could use the teapots on for like a pretty decent bond farm. But yeah, really, outside of giving us more bond, just use them wherever, right? And you can get 20 from these missions over here. But the missions you guys probably care about are going to be these ones over here, which basically, I don't know, man, just like be up to date, basically. It's just like be caught up, do these, get your Saint Quartz. I haven't calculated how many we're getting, but I can just look at it real quick. It's like 1, 2, 3, that is 5, then we have 7, 9, 12. All right, 12 total. So basically half a multi essentially. That's not bad. Especially if you're going to be summoning for Melusine, just being caught up gives you a little bit extra. Or if you're going to be summoning for Koyanskaya, or you want to start saving now for the summer event, which is going to be really crazy. I'm personally not really looking forward to that one, because that is going to be a massacre. They're bringing Lady Avalon, they're bringing Ibuki, and they're bringing Scotty out. I'm preparing myself mentally for that one. Might even just skip out on Arcui just so I have extra Saint Quartz for that one. I'll be like, sorry, lady, I already got Morgan. I gotta throw my Saint Quartz over here. But this is kind of nice. But the main thing a lot of you people probably care about is going to be the banners. Now, interestingly enough, they threw out a Da Vinci Rider banner. I cannot for the life of you understand why they tossed this out here for Da Vinci Rider. Now, Bargus and Sith, this makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think these two just kind of sell on their own. I know a lot of people that'll probably go in on this banner just because Barghest and Sith are on it, and they might not have gotten a singular copy, let alone maybe like finish them off to like NP5. So I imagine this is kind of nice, but I guess Da Vinci Rider hasn't been out in a little bit, so it's kind of nice to give people a chance to get her. And it certainly could have been a worse unit. Like, if there's a random 5-star you can get while summoning for these two, Da Vinci Rider is kind of nutty. If you're not familiar with what she does, she just spams NP all over the place. Like, her NP refunds NP, she refunds NP every single turn. She has, like, a battery. She's just got everything. She supports the party. She gives everybody the overcharge level. She gives everybody NP damage, so it's like just a crazy servant. Like, I don't think she's aged at all. I mean, sure, you could maybe say that at NP1 her damage isn't the craziest, but you could say that about a lot of really good NP1 servants. I mean, Takeda is actually not as bad as I was making him out to be. The more and more that I've tested him now that I got him, I actually do like him, and, you know, I like bringing him to, like, more difficult content, and I've definitely been enjoying that a lot over there. So yeah, like, just because you don't do like crazy damage at NP1 doesn't mean you're like non-viable. But the good thing for Da Vinci Rider, she's crazy. You can use her as a farmer, you can bring her into challenging content, and also like buff, say, your Castoria's overcharge level or your Tamamo's. Really doesn't matter because all the art supports have good overcharge effects. I mean, even when we get Lady Avalon, she's just Merlin, but a little bit better. So this is not a bad banner to go on, but I expect most people are probably not going to be swayed from going on this banner. Like, if you are going to summon, you were wanting to get Melusine over here, who is actually good for the current event. The only problem, I guess, is that the event is going to end in 17 hours. So yeah, let me get my login and stuff ready. Let me get this all done. Let me get that all out of the way. But it is going to be ending rather soon, so if you've got stuff farmed, which, by the way, before someone flames me, that is not all that I've farmed, by the way. That is just, I've had to open some boxes to finish off Scotty and stuff like that. I want to get flamed, all right? I have been farming, all right? I've been farming. I just had to open up boxes, all right? Before someone tries to call me on the comments. No, I have opened a lot of boxes, all right? I had to get my stuff ready, but anyway, yeah, you can bring her out for this, basically is the point that I'm getting to. She is very, very strong. Just as a farmer in general. Having a 100% battery, go figure, is going to be a very, very strong effect when going into farming. But she's also incredibly good when you go into more difficult content. I can't stress that enough. Just the double whammy of Melusine effectively having like 130% battery for farming because she has the 2 split ones, but then also still being an insane single target arts unit. It just cannot be understated how great she is. I mean, you could say that she effectively, as a not as a farmer, but as a single target, only has the 2 skills, because using the 3rd skill turns her into a buster AoE. But those 2 skills are just good enough on their own. That is the battery, that is the attack buff, that's the star gen, the star weight, and her NP stacks, NP gain as well. So like, it just, she has everything she needs. She is designed so well that it's like, yeah. But like, the first 2 skills plus the NP, that's good enough. That's all you're going to need realistically. And then being able to swap to an AoE does actually come up in some fights. Like Melusine has the, what is it? It's the non-Hamidide servant or whatever it is. That is going to be good. And well, this lady's story event that we're going to be getting in a couple of days. And so that is actually kind of relevant because you can use her to kind of like poke down Koyenskaya, or you can use her to poke down some of the guys around her because they all give her like different buffs. But then if you want to start like doing AoEs, you can actually swap her, and that's how I did my original run for the Koyenskaya, like the main boss fight, is it did come down to me like swapping to get that 100% battery and just do a little bit of damage to win the fight before I got a fat NP to the face. So look, don't discount it. She's really, really good. I'm sure I do not have to sell Melusine to people, but she's worth going for. I'll probably make a video for her now that her banner's actually live on here, just because I will talk about Melusine until, you know, the cows come home, all right? Like, Melusine is crazy, crazy good, and I'm always going to rep chicken, all right? But with all that being said, I'm just thinking about the people that don't know, like, the jokes that I make that are just like, why did he call Melusine a chicken? Look, all dragons are chickens, all right? Just understand. They're all, you'll get it, right? Like, you stick around to this ETL channel, you'll pick up on the jokes eventually. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day, and good luck on your summoning if you are going to go summon.